Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the MAS-38 Submachine Gun mod, which is being made by user Tactaghoul. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the pre-World War II French submachine gun, the MAS-38. And this is a wonderful addition to the Commonwealth. I very much have been enjoying my time with this mod, especially considering the fact it is a historical weapon, and I have always had a soft spot for those, even if they don't entirely make sense in the game. I mean, not a whole lot of MAS-38s were made between 1938 and 1951 when they stopped production, and even fewer of them made it to the United States. But hey, it's historic and that makes me happy. So into the Pip-Boy we go to have a look at the standard version of the gun here, which is beautifully made, very well textured, very well modeled. It does come with custom animations and custom sounds, and all in all is just a very nicely made weapon. Now, it is, I should stress this right from the get-go, an early game weapon. Early to sort of early mid game, I'd say, as you'll start finding it in the world at level 5 on gunners and at level 10 in vendors. And its stats will pretty much reflect that, with its base level damage being 25, using 38 ammunition with a firing rate of 66, range of 198, accuracy of 66, and a weight of 12.3. Now with modifications, you can up that damage, also change it from semi-auto to fully automatic, add other various things, but all in all, it's really not going to be the most powerful thing in the world. This, I believe, was the most powerful I was able to get this up to at 44, using 10mm ammo rather than 38. So yes, very much an early game weapon, but still a fun one to have, and considering its historic nature, just, I think, good to have. Now, there is one more thing we need to talk about that this mod adds in, which could be far more important than this beautiful gun, and that is the addition of, let me get to it here, the Roquefort cheese. Yes, this mod, besides adding in a beautiful new submachine gun, also brings in some delicious French cheese, which is actually kind of a really cheaty item, upping your charisma by 9, lowering your endurance by 2, giving you 1,500 hit points from some delicious, delicious French cheese. I like this. It amuses me that not only do we get a beautiful French submachine gun, but also a delicious wedge of French cheese. And that's just entertaining. So let's actually go back to the gun now and take a look at the different modifications. And actually, we're going to pull out the compensated, converted version here, because one of the modifications is the barrel, either standard or threaded, and the threaded one will allow you to do different muzzle attachments. So to make sure that shows right, we'll start with this gun here. And in the receiver category, we have a number of different receivers, the pretty standard fare of advanced, calibrated, hardened, etc. And they'll just be kind of switching between either automatic or semi-automatic. And most of them, of course, being 38, with the most powerful of the 38 receivers being the powerful version at 37 on the semi-automatic damage and 36 on the fully auto damage. But you have two 10mm receivers here, upping that damage to 46 on the semi-auto and 44 on the automatic. But far worse recoil, though honestly it's still not that bad. It's pretty manageable recoil. Now next we have the barrel category, where we either have the standard version or the threaded one, which I did mention does add in some, or the ability rather, to have muzzle attachments, even though the standard barrel does actually give you a tiny bit more damage, which is always good. So do you want attachments or do you want power? Now next we have the stocks, which a lovely selection of different woods, some of them having a sling and some of them not, each one having different effects on your carry weight as well as accuracy and even recoil. And then the next we have magazines, where we either have the standard 32 shot or two 32 shots duct taped together, because, you know, there you go. And next we have the sights or apertures here, where we have either the standard no sights a 100 meter calibrated aperture or a 200 meter calibrated aperture. I would really love to see some more in here, but you know what? Again, for being a historic firearm, I can kind of let it slide because, well, it's kind of what it was. And then finally, we have those muzzle attachments if you do choose the threaded barrel, where we either have none, a compensator, a muzzle brake, an oil filter suppressor, which also does kind of act as a compensator, and then finally, a full-on suppressor, which is wonderful. And yeah, those are all the different mods that we have for this beautiful old French gun. So let's go and take some shots. Let's go back to the standard version. There we go, and fire off. There we go. You can hear that lovely custom sound on it, and also the fact that this thing, well, it fires pretty darn quickly. Basically, as fast as you can pull, or click your mouse button rather, you can pull the trigger. And it works very well. Now let's switch over to the compensated one here, which has the 10mm fully automatic receiver. And this one also having one of those apertures, which is actually quite useful. It's much better than a lot of the iron sights I've dealt with other modded weapons, and even some of the iron sights from the in-game ones. So let's take some shots. There we go, and that was with controlling the recoil. Let's not control it. Start at the base of the river over there, and fire. So there we are. It does really give some kick, but it is, especially with the compensator on the front, pretty darn controllable. Now let's go to the final one, our suppressed advanced, which has that oil filter suppressor, which makes it a little bit difficult to aim, because that is a very large suppressor that kind of covers up our iron sight there, but oh well. Yeah, pretty quiet. Pretty darn quiet. I'd say that is adequately suppressed. So let's go and, of course, test it out on our lovely test subjects over here. And we'll start, as per usual, with Will. And we'll get him with the suppressed one. Oh, God. I'm already awful at aiming now with this oil can. This, we may need to get closer. You know what? Yeah, we're going to get closer. We're going to get Vatsum, because this oil can does definitely make it hard to aim. Hi, Will, and goodbye-ish, maybe, Will. Oh, yeah, see that low amount of damage there. Now, remember, of course, Will is a updated animal, or upgraded, rather, from the standard ones, being a named character there. But, yeah, still, not a whole lot of damage on these. Let's go to that compensated for that full 44 damage, and take down Randy. Hi, Randy! Oh, the recoil, but there we go. We got him with a couple of bursts. It almost took all of our bullets. We have 5 left. Let's just shoot those off. But nonetheless, we took down Randy. A lot better than Will. I think I must have clipped him in the head at some point. That really did help. But yes, this is the MAS-38 Submachine Gun. It is a beautiful addition to the game. As I always say, I love the addition of different historic weaponry. It makes me happy. Because for me, I don't know, it feels more Fallout-y for some strange reason. But, so, yeah, it's a good mod. And if you'd like to check it out for yourself, you can have a look at the link in the description, as per usual. But that is going to be it for today, my friends. I hope you all have enjoyed, and that you do come back for the next episode, when hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.